is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. It is a nice Monday morning off. I just got done. Usually once a month I have to work like 7 days in a row, so this is a nice, well-needed day off. Almost done with our Foundations Jumpstart mass box opening, which I'll have a video for in a little bit. This is the culmination of getting everything kind of in order. And then I started kind of getting back into the Pokemon sorting bulk. And I realized I never made a video on how I actually find my bulk. I know I've mentioned little bits and bobs here and there, but figured now would be a good time to just kind of go over how I find it, the rates I kind of buy it at, and there might be one or two things that you never thought of before. So before we get into all that information, if you don't know who I am, my name is Bronzgod. I sell trading cards on Tcgplayer and eBay, averaging about $40,000 a year, mostly in bulk. So, number one, easily the easiest, and I've had the most success with, is a kind of obvious one, and that's Facebook Marketplace. When I first started, I didn't make any ads. I didn't make any flyers. I mean, I'm sure if anyone's gone on Facebook Marketplace before, you'll have these like little AI like, hey, buy from me, here's my rates. I still don't do that. You're more than welcome to do that. But I just will, anyone that says they're selling bulk, I don't care how many people have those ads and post them. I don't care if the people that are already in the comments saying they want to buy it are buying for more than me. I don't comment on the post. I DM them directly. I say, hey, I'm interested. Here are my rates. Let me know. And then usually, because I kind of treat buying bulk as if I'm a salesman, right? A lot of people, if you notice, when you go on these sites, they'll say, and not even bulk, right? For like sealed, they'll say, hey, I'm looking to buy X, hit me up. And you know, I'm sure that works sometimes, but if you're not the one chasing it down, you're not gonna have the most success. You might disagree with that, but the more you're chasing it, the better off you're gonna be. So I will always go to them. So I'll say, hey, blah, 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 blah. And then after like a couple hours, if I haven't heard back, I'll ask them again. I'll usually, for a day or two, like every 6 to 8 hours, hey, are you still interested? Hey, I'm still interested. Do you still want to sell it? Blah, 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 blah. Got to make sure that you're kind of in their face at all times. Don't feel bad about getting annoying. You know, if it was every hour, it'd be one thing. Every 6 to 8 hours, just to make sure they know that you want it and you are in it to win it. It works. So I will message them that many times. After 2 days, I just kind of let it be, and then sometimes they'll say, oh, I was doing whatever, blah 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 blah. And at that point, they'll usually ask for your rates. Rates obviously being the rate at which you pay per 1,000 cards. Usually when you're buying bulk, it is by the 1,000. There are people that will do by weight. I don't mess with that. In my opinion and in my experience, and this isn't everybody, but people who usually list their bulk by weight, two things. One, every now and then one of them are trying to get over on you, because if you do it by weight, it sounds like a lot. I've got 10 pounds of bulk. 10 pounds is, I did the math, like a pound of bulk is like 1,000 or 2,000 cards. Like it's not really that much. So I typically will stay away from posts that say weight. So typically with Pokemon, I will buy for $10 to $15 per 1,000 for commons and uncommons. There are people getting absolutely loony doing 20 to 25. If you want to haggle and get that high, you're more than welcome to. But I'm not going to conform to that. Another reason why the people that sell by weight do that is because they don't want to count it, which I understand. But you have to value your time, especially when you're dealing with bulk. So if they're not going to take the time to count it, I'm not going to take the time to pay them more. So I will usually have different tiers almost. So I'll just say out there, $10 per 1,000, and then I've used to do common reverse hollows and hollows separately. Now I just group them together. So I'll say $10 or $15 per thousand commons and uncommons, $35 per thousand on the, or $30 per thousand, that's what I do on the hollows and reverses. But if you can count it all for me, and I know how many commons and uncommons and reverses and hollows I'm getting, I'll pay you $15 to $20 per thousand for commons and uncommons. I'll give you $30 for hollow rares, and I'll give you $40 for reverses. So you're gonna get a little more money if you put in a little more work. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm getting. I don't know if it's thrashed. I don't know how much energies I'm gonna get, because I know you guys who have bought bulk before know there's a plethora of energies that are in there no matter how much you ask, and it's part of the business, so don't get too salty about it. And it usually works. I've gotten plenty of bulk at very, very low prices because they'll start sorting it and they'll be like, bro, I don't want to do this. Can we do $12 per thousand? And then I'll say, sure. Because at that point, you know, I'm willing to take the risk. But the amount of people over the, I want to say probably 3 years or so that I've been doing this, I now have a lot of people that come to me. Sometimes it's only 1,000 or 2,000 cards, but the more and more people you reach out on Facebook and you get into your local groups and kind of make a name for yourself and, you know, create, you know, that reputation. Every time someone posts, I mean, there's people that every post is, hey, check this guy out. That guy I sold to a month or so ago, he's the main guy around here. But I'm like the second guy, and sometimes I sell to him, obviously. But the more and more you do this, the more and more reputation you grow. You know, if you're constantly paying, I always drive. If you're an hour away, I'm driving. If you don't want to meet, I always try to meet, I'm driving. I'm literally doing everything I can to make the transaction as pain-free as possible. All those little things, driving, meeting, this, that, the other, those can all be pain points in a deal stopping. And especially if you're starting off, and especially now in this climate where bulk is, I don't want to say it's hard to get, but it's definitely getting a little more competitive. You got to differentiate yourself. So if you're willing to do something else that someone's not going to do, then that means you get the sale, the able to buy it. You got to go for it. And then over time, you know, that might make things easier to where they'll be more likely to meet you halfway or whatever it might be. So Facebook has easily been the best way I've accumulated it. Second, which you may not think of, is your local game store. I have, I think I've said it in past videos, I have 3 local game stores that do not deal with bulk at all. I think one sifts it at a pretty high floor, but they just don't mess with it. They have different priorities. That's fine. So I would go in there and say, you know, respectfully, you know, it's their business. You got to remember that when you go into another person's business to ask them to buy their stuff so you can make money, transparency is the most important thing that you can do. So, for example, the first one I walked into, I've shopped there from time to time, so I had a little bit of a rapport with them. I said, hey, John, do you guys deal in bulk? And they said, no, you know, we've got a bunch. I was like, okay. So hey, here's the deal. I sell trading cards on Tcgplayer and eBay. I have a bulk operation. If you guys don't deal with it, would you be open to selling it to me? And for this particular store, they had mentioned that they were bulking out to Cool Stuff, which is a big store around here. So I was like, okay, well, what about this? Because a lot of these bigger stores will have like a trade-in rate and a cash rate, right? So you can trade into Cool Stuff or Star City for like $10 per thousand, but if you take store credit, it's like 12. So I said, hey, what if I pay you in cash what their trade-in rate is? So, you know, a couple more dollars per thousand. I come to you, I pick it all up, I move it all, I just give you money, and you don't have to take the time or have an employee drive back and forth. Done. Is that easy? Because with a business, as you know, time is money. So if I'm able to save that person time and make them money in the time that they don't have to spend or send an employee to do, you're doing them a favor. Because as much as you want them to help you out, you have to help them out in return. This is a business transaction after all. So when you go in there, you can't just ask for bulk, and then if they don't sell it to you, get all frustrated, because there's a lot of people that go in looking for it now. I've mentioned it before where I'll be sitting there just kind of talking to, there's this other store who I've known for a long, long time. I'll be sitting there and people will come in and ask for bulk while I'm there, and they get all, huffy and tuffy because they can't get it because someone else is getting it, which is me. They only want the good stuff. You got to take everything. If they have bulk, it's part of the business. If you want just the good stuff, they're going to say no and they're going to laugh at you. It's same thing with distribution. If you're ever big enough and you have a distribution channel, you're not going to be able to go in there and say, hey, I want the hottest set. They're going to make you take the crap commander decks. They're going to make you take the crap build them out. Like they're going to make you take everything. So if you have the opportunity to buy it. Especially if it's coming from a store, because if they don't deal with it, it's not going to be sifted for the most part. And even if it is, it's going to be fine. We all know that you can make money on bulk, even if you spend a little more, it's fine. So you just have to go about that a little tactfully, and you should be good. And if they say no, just say, hey, would you mind if I stopped in every couple weeks and just checked with you? You don't have to ask them that, but you're not trying to be a nuisance to them, right? And also maybe build a rapport with them and buy some stuff from their store. If you've never bought anything before, you don't hang out there, you don't play games there, the likelihood of them doing things like that might be a little less. All these stores that I go to and buy bulk from, all my one-pack magics, all my openings, all my PC stuff, I buy from them. Is it higher than retail? Yes. But, just like any small businesses need that support. I don't mind paying a little extra, especially if it's for me, and it, greases the gears potentially for things to come down the road. So it's just a lot of stuff that I've learned, especially working in customer service, how things that seem little to you might seem big to them. So even though it's something you don't want to do up front, doing it just for the sake of doing it and helping them out could help in a big way. So that's number 2. Number 3, which is, obviously I would say of the 3, it's probably the one I've had I don't want to say least success because I've had success with it, but is card shows. I don't go to them too often. I would say once a month I go to card shows. And I will I don't have any more right now, but I've made a pamphlet, like a little brochure, like a menu you'd see at a restaurant. And I will go up to any table. Hey, how you doing? My name's Carmine. I have a YouTube channel. Blah 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 blah. I buy bulk. Here's my thing. If you ever want to sell any, if you have any, feel free to reach out. You talk with them a little bit and then be on your way. Because the name of the game, again, it's just like sales. You don't want to spend 20 minutes on one table. You want to give them a brochure, get it in your hand, tell them what you're looking for. Reach out if you have any questions, boom. And I will hit as many tables as I can in an hour or two. And there's some shows where no one ever calls. There's some where I'll get a DM, later, and their price is way too high and I don't buy. But in those situations where they're too high, I'll use that as a referral. I'll say, hey, well, I think my buddy might buy at that rate. And then when you start networking like that and you start giving other people olive branches, sometimes you get that back. So there's just so many different ways and angles to go about this. It's actually kind of fun. Then there's setting up at a show. The 2 shows I set up at, I had those same pamphlets and I had a sign that said, I buy bulk. And I would trade decent cards, like illustration rares and stuff, for bulk. Now the rates were a little lower. At the time, I think I was doing 8 per thousand or 10 per thousand. But, if you have a $100 whatever, EV SIR or something, and you can get 100,000 cards for it, or however much the money ends up being, that could be an insane deal. The gentleman that I just sold all my bulk to, he'll give you like a 15% trade-in credit towards literally cards that are valued $500 or more. So if I didn't need this money to start getting things crazy and start doing bigger and better things, I could have had $15,000, $16,000 in, you know, Charizard EXs from 151, like just banger after banger after banger. So having that stuff on hand to be able to trade into bulk, we all know the multiplier on bulk that you can get. So having that as an option could be beneficial. There are obviously more ways to buy bulk. I mean, I always talk about people at my job get another they get mad with me, but it's like they roll their eyes when I talk about my card stuff so much because I'm passionate about it. But in doing so, hey, I heard someone's told me that you deal with cards. I have like this little thing of cards at home. Do you mind looking through it? Sure. They'll bring it in. I'll look through it. A lot of times it's nothing. I'm like, yeah, there's not a lot here. And then they'll just say, well, you can have it. Or you mind giving me like $5 or $10? Sure. There was one instance where they did that and there was a Burning Shadows Rainbow Charizard in there. It was like heavily played, but we made a deal on it. They were super stoked because they didn't realize that a jacked up card like that was that much. It was a couple $100s at the time, I think. There's just so many different like permutations and branches of things that could possibly happen with the more and more that you talk about things and the more and more people you talk to and reach out to, whether or not you're successful at obtaining it or not, that you really, no matter what way you go about it, you just have to put yourself out there and just attack it feverishly. Message everybody. Anyone you see selling it, message them. Anyone you see talking about it, ask them. Anytime you're doing a deal, ask them. The number of times I've done a deal and had bulk thrown in on top of that is more than you'd imagine. Like a lot. I remember one time some guy had like I don't know, it was like four rows of code cards he just wanted to get rid of. So I told him I'd give him $30 and he was like, okay. I walk in there, the guy is like this like several $100,000 a month whatnot streamer who's got a whole team of sellers and he literally had like 20 card houses behind him. And I was like, what is all that? And he was like, bulk that I need to figure out how to get rid of. And I was like, hey, I'm your guy, like, let's go. So, and then we started like, I probably did like 8 deals with him to pick it all up. You just never know. You just never know. I'm getting amped now. Talking about bulk is exciting. Talking about all these past deals is exciting, but you can't have them if you don't take the shot. So those are my top 3 ways to go about it. There obviously is plenty of more out there, but yeah, in that order, I would go with that. Pick your rates, stick to them. And I hope that helps you, especially as the bulk market gets crazier and crazier. And yeah, hope you guys have a good day. Hope that helped out. We'll see you in the next one and see you later. Peace.